and Jayden Seales here. Both played a bit of county cricket this season. So we're going to take some questions from the floor and then maybe one or two Zoom questions thereafter. So if we start with James Cole, away we go.
Hi, Jace. The focus is very much on James Anderson here at Lords this week, but how determined are you guys to spoil his farewell party?
Look, we're just here to play a good competitive series, coming out to win this series. So, I mean, for me, it's not about Jimmy, all due respect. For me, it's about, my contribution to the team and, making sure that each and every one of our members are on point at the start of the test match and, us playing some really solid cricket. Everything else around it, is, I guess, secondary in my mind, but more or less, I'm just focused on the game at hand.
And how will you remember him as a cricketer and the battles you've had with him through the years?
Yeah, it's been good battles over the years, no doubt. I'm sure this one will be a good battle as well too. I'm sure he's got still a lot left in the tank and stuff to prove. But yeah, always like playing against great players, and he's no doubt one of the great players of the game. So looking forward to the contest for one last time.
Now, there's a fast bowler to carry on doing what he's done for so long, now pushing 42. You can obviously appreciate what an effort that is.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Sorry?
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And just finally from me, following on from the success in Australia, how important is it to build on that? Because you've obviously produced an incredible result and a piece of history, but how determined now for this test team going forward you build on that and follow that up here?
Yeah, it's important, man. I think the guys, took a lot from that test victory in Australia, obviously. And, for the group, we've been doing some really positive things over the last couple of months. And I think as a young side, the main thing is just to keep learning. There's something that I stress on within the group. Each and every individual just taking what they can take from each experience and just building on it. We'd be faced with different challenges here in England, obviously. And it's just a matter for each individual to understand them, learn from them, and, make them better for the next day. But I think what we have in the dressing room is some special talent. We've got some special talent within our dressing room. There's no doubt about it. It's just a matter for us just to play some solid cricket, and I just believe.
Jayden, I was lucky enough to grow up in an era when county cricket was blessed with great West Indian bowlers. Your experience recently in county cricket, could you give us a sense of what that helped you with in terms of your confidence going into the test match here?
Yeah, it definitely gave me the confidence to know that I can play in English conditions and do well. And obviously just getting to understand a little bit more about myself and what I can do differently from playing at home and now playing away. I know it could help me to get the results for the team.
And when you come to Lords, so often players from wherever they come from do get a sense that it is different and special. I wonder if that's a real feeling for you today.
Yeah, of course. It's obviously a dream to play at Lords as the home of cricket. And I think in the moment it's just about taking in everything that comes with the entire occasion and just going out there and express yourself as much as you can.
It's intriguing, this group of bowlers that you got here. I know fans will be really looking forward to seeing it. I wonder if you could perhaps give us some sense about the particular skill sets and maybe who's the quickest.
I'd like to...
I see Jason is nudging. Maybe he's thinking in the past a bit.
I'll just think before you answer that question.
I know the fastest probably be Alzari. But no, I think all of us have our own unique skill set, and it's a matter of us coming together collectively and expressing ourselves, as I said, enjoying the game, playing a good competitive game of cricket, and hopefully we come out on top.
Final question for me, if I may. I know you're here obviously playing cricket, but you're representing your region and your countries at a time which has been very difficult for many parts of the region. We've, of course, been seeing it on the news over here. I know you met the King a couple of days ago. I just wonder what that gives you as West Indian cricketers here when so much of the region is really been hit hard, to think what your role is as cricketers. Perhaps you'd both like to answer that.
Yeah, obviously, we're not just doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for the people who support us back home. And obviously, being hit by the hurricane so drastically, we'll try our very best to make them proud or feel some sense of pride, obviously, coming out of a situation like that.
Jason?
Yeah, similar. I think one of the things that brings West Indian people together is cricket. And they love when we do well. Obviously, the buzz around the T20 World Cup and, you know, our success in the recent past has definitely revived the lives or the cricketing lives of people in the Caribbean. And there are a lot of West Indians here in England as well too, who will be definitely coming out to support us. But I think any bit of spark or encouragement we could give them is just through our performances, you know, and that's what we pledged as a group, and trying to make them happy and as proud as they possibly can in these tough times.
And the King is a cricket fan. Did you glean that from him?
Pardon?
The King is a cricket fan.
Yeah, he definitely is, man. And no doubt he's a fan of the West Indies after our little encounter a couple of days ago.
Jason, obviously 4 years ago, very different circumstances when you came over here during COVID, and you know I think it's well known that your presence as a team really helped save ECB's bacon in a tough summer. And can you just reflect on that summer and obviously very different circumstances, full house at Lords, and you know the difficulties you went through, and obviously remaining competitive, winning a test as well on that tour.
Yeah, firstly, it's just good to be out in the open again. I remember being locked in Manchester for 3 weeks before the test series, which was tough because we stayed at the ground. And then we went down to Southampton for that week, which felt like a week out of prison. And then we went right back into prison after Southampton. So it was tough, man. And just reflecting on it, you know, you just count your blessings right now. Obviously, there were a lot of lives lost during COVID. And again, it was a similar situation, I guess, with the hurricane that just passed, where the only hope people had, or the only, you know, impetus that people had was cricket. You know, and they finally got a chance to see some cricket and, you know, put a smile on somebody's face or people's faces in the Caribbean. So, look, coming back here now in England 4 years later, we're just looking to take it one step further. We won one test match last time out of 3. Yeah, 2 would be a lot better on this trip.
And obviously, goes without saying, you are the holders of the Richards Botham Trophy at the minute. So, you know, and having won twice in the Caribbean, it's, you know, clearly it's a particularly strong era for the rivalry at the minute.
Definitely. Yeah, the last 2 times England would have toured the West Indies, you know, we beat them the last 2 times we would have toured England. In the recent past, they would have beaten us. So I think it's time for someone to break the shackles, and no better time than now for us to come here in England and beat England. I think that would be an absolutely great feat. Nothing I don't think this team is short of. I believe in every individual in this group, and I think that based on what I've seen over the last couple of days and over the last couple of months, playing first-class cricket back at home for a few games, and then obviously seeing a few players here now, it's been great. You know, I've really enjoyed being around the group again.
Thank you.
Jules?
Jayden, I think you bowled here earlier in the season for Sussex. How helpful was that to you in getting used to bowling at Lords? Because it can be a tricky ground for people who aren't, you know, regularly here.
Well, it was a totally different pitch to what we've seen prepared for the test match, because the pitch for the first class game was so flat, it had nothing in it for the bowlers. So yeah, I hope the test match isn't that way.
Thank you.
Alec? You good?
Jason, obviously Jimmy's only going to be playing the first match of the series, so England's all-time greatest bowler will not be involved in the second and third games. Does that improve your chances of coming away with a series win, do you think?
Look, again, I don't really want to single out Jimmy as, you know, their only player. You know, England is a collective group, and yeah, they've all, you know, warranted his selection. You know, I just don't think it's a situation where I want to downplay others and, you know, I guess big up other players, you know, more than the others. But we're just here to play cricket. You know, whatever team England puts out, you know, we're looking to compete against them and beat them. You know, that's as simple as I possibly put it.
And West Indies have been through a rejuvenation of their teams in white and red ball cricket over recent years. When these major figures, the big characters who've been around the team for a long time, when they leave, is that a distraction at all?
I could only take it back to my experience of playing with Shivnarine Chanapal, for instance. And yeah, it was a bittersweet feeling in a sense where someone who's done so much for West Indies cricket, you know, is kind of just being pinched to wake up that he's actually finishing. And taking myself back to that moment is just like, well, you're losing such a powerful figure in the dressing room. I guess no doubt it'll be the same thing for England, but as everything else, we've got to move on with the times. It's unfortunate we can't play cricket forever, or we can't play professional sport forever, and at some point we've got to close the curtains. And some people get to do it on their own terms, and some people don't. So it's just unfortunate sometimes when you don't get that chance after playing for so long. But yeah, just going back to that experience of me playing with Shiv, it was great to be in the dressing room with him and just learn so much from him.
Jason, I was just going to ask about missing the Tour of Australia, how hard that was, possibly even after the event when you were obviously watching the famous win at the Gabba, and also more generally kind of what can be done to actually help players not be put in that decision where they've got to decide between international cricket and earning a living?
Look, I guess over a period of time there'll be, a solution, whatever that may be. I guess so far we haven't kind of stumbled upon the solution, but it is what it is. You see a couple of Kiwi players just turn down central contracts, a couple of South African players turn down central contracts. So it is where the game is moving. I guess that's not my job to find a solution. Each and every person has their own personal decision to make. I was just so happy for the boys when they did what they did in Australia, and for me, it gave me a renewed energy just to come back to the group, and try to be a part of something special again. And, I was really happy to play a few first-class games in the Caribbean this year. I haven't played probably for the last 4 years, and it was good to have 2 first-class games and then come over here and play a couple first-class games here in the English summer. So, yeah, all in all, I'm just happy, that I've been able to still get the body up and going and, being up for the challenge here. But yeah, missed Test cricket. This first Test match in a long time. So yeah, looking forward to it.
And can I just ask about your time at Worcestershire? Overseas players come and go. Sometimes they just drop in and drop out. But it looked from afar like you found a real connection with that club. But could you just tell us a bit about that spell? Obviously, I appreciate it was obviously marred with a tragedy at the same time, and that was obviously tough. But it felt like the connection there went deeper than just an overseas player dropping in and out.
Yeah, it was a hell of an experience, to be honest. It gave me new energy in terms of, I guess my career, where, I got into a dressing room where I just felt loved. The love that the boys showed me, it was just second to none, to be fair. And I was just really happy for that experience. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm just grateful for Worcester for having me. Again, thanks to Alan Richardson and his crew. And yeah, hopefully I can get back there maybe in the not too distant future. Not sure about the 4-day cricket with the pitches being so flat, but yeah, hopefully I can get back to playing a few more county games in the not too distant future.
Okay, we're going to take one more in the room and then a couple on Zoom. So, Laura.
Jayden, Jason talking there about the tension between Test cricket and other franchise stuff. Can you just go back to that last Test series against England, which you played a big part in, and tell us what it meant to you to play a full Test series, take wickets and beat England?
Yeah, that was an unreal experience for me, especially being so young and coming into a team playing against probably one of the better teams in the world. Obviously, they were struggling at that time, but still, it's England. It'll be a big occasion playing against them in a full series at home. And doing well for the team is obviously a big thing. And getting the result at the end of the series was obviously even better for us and for me as a collective. So,
okay, we're going to take a question from the Zoom. So, Terry, would you like to ask your question?
Yes, thank you, Dean. Good day, gentlemen. Obviously, this is a historic. This has always been a big series, West Indies, England, Test cricket. There's a feeling, though, that this time around, the buzz is somewhat lacking. Do you get that sense, or being in the environment, are you oblivious to what is going on around? Is that something that you think about at all? The excitement of England West Indies Test cricket?
No, I just feel it very normal, to be fair. Everybody's upbeat for the series, and yeah, we're looking forward to the challenge against England. It's always a really good contest between the two teams, and yeah, I expect nothing different in this series. And yeah, we're just looking to really play some really solid cricket.
You have Jimmy Adams, obviously part of your setup, massive experience in England, massive experience with the West Indies. How much has he contributed to the coaching setup for the West Indies, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think Jimmy has done an outstanding job. It's not the first time I would have worked with Jimmy, and yeah, I think he has a lot of knowledge, as you said before, and it's good to have that perspective from someone who's played the game as well and been successful for West Indies. So he's been very, very beneficial in the sense where he's helped us tactically in terms of getting our mindset right, and just being very, very selective and disciplined in terms of our approach to batting.
And finally, you've got obviously some young players in. When I say young, I mean just inexperienced, because some of them maybe a little bit long in the tooth, but have started their test careers late. Sorry to stick with you, Jason, but what do you do in terms of sort of putting your arm around them and getting their mindset right for this format?
For me, it's just making each and every individual. Sorry, yeah, for me, it's just about making each and every individual feel comfortable. Yeah, I'm quite relaxed in the dressing room, to say. Yeah, and I've had so many different individual chats with players, trying to just understand them, so that when we go on the field and, I get a better sense of who they are as a person, I could probably be in a better position to help them when need be. But yeah, the boys have been so receptive and just so welcoming of the information that I've shared. And yeah, I've learned a lot from them personally as well too. So it's all a learning experience for me as well too. But look, as time goes on, hopefully they'll learn from the different scenarios and experiences that they'll encounter. And yeah, just make them better cricketers than they came here Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. I'm wishing you all the best. I hope you make His Royal Highness very happy with a Test series win. Now that you see he's a West Indies fan.
Thank you. We're gonna call an end to it there. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh yeah,
it's like transcribed. Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's a good one. It's not that.